Okay, I'm going to use this rectangle and this inscribed right angle triangle to prove what? This compound angle sine A plus B and cos of what? A plus B. Now, first of all, you need to do what? Draw a rectangle and inscribe right angle triangle inside what? It, in such a way that the hypotenuse is what? 1 unit. Okay? So when we have this, if you look at this now, this is a right angle triangle. And for what? Trigonometrical ratio, this side facing angle B is what? Opposite. Okay? And this longest part is what? The hypotenuse. So how do we find from here to here? How do we find what? From here to here? You should do what? Sine, remember what we call what? Soccer tour. Soccer what? Soccer tour. Okay? Now, sine of what? Angle is equals opposite of what? Hypotenuse. So for us to find here now, we're going to use what? Sine B. Sine B is equals what? Opposite over what? Hypotenuse. So opposite over what? Hypotenuse. And hypotenuse is 1. So opposite divided by 1 is opposite. So that means opposite is what? Is sine B. So we're going to label here what? Sine B. Okay? Again, for us to find the adjacent side, we're going to use what? Cos B is equals what? Adjacent over what? Hypotenuse. And hypotenuse is also 1. So that means adjacent is simply means what? Cos B. Okay? So let us label here what? Cos B. Okay? Good. So again, let us consider this right angle triangle. Okay? Remember that here is what? Angle 90. Okay? So we want to find here and also find here using this word angle A. Remember that this side facing angle A is what? The opposite. So from there, we're going to have that sine A, okay, sine A is equals what? Opposite. Okay? That is opposite over what? The hypotenuse is what? Cos B. So this is what? Cos B. So when you make what? Opposite the subject of formula, we're going to have that opposite is equals what? Sine A times what? Cos B. So that means this side is what? Sine A cos B. So we're going to label here what? Sine A cos what? Cos B. The same thing is applicable. Let us find this adjacent, which is what? We're going to use what? Cos A is equals what? Adjacent. Adjacent over what? Hypotenuse. And hypotenuse remains what? Cos B. So when you make adjacent the subject of formula here, we're going to have that adjacent is equals what? Cos what? Cos A cos B. So we're going to label here what? We're going to label here cos A, cos B, cos A, cos what? Cos B. Okay, so we've gotten that side. Let us look at this. Now, if here is A and here is 90, so that means the angle here should also be what? 90 minus here. Because the sum of angle inside triangle is what? Is 180. And here is already 90. So here must be 90 minus A. So here we're going to have 90 minus what? Minus A. Okay? So now, if here is 90 minus A and here is 90, automatically here must be what? A. To make it what? 180 degrees. So here is what? Is our A. Let's want to fill up our angles, okay? So now, again, you see that looking at this, okay? Yeah. So that means here alternates to here, okay? Here alternates to here. So alternate angles are equal. Okay, that means here we're going to have the angle here is what? A plus what? A plus B because of alternate angle. Look at the Z. Okay, so here alternate to what? To here. Because this is the transverse that cuts them across. Okay, So from there now, from this angle now, we're going to find here and also find here. So using this angle here, here becomes opposite because any side facing angle is opposite, and here remains what? Hypotenuse. Is that okay? So now, sine A plus B equals, remember that sine is opposite of a hypotenuse. So sine A plus B is equals what? Opposite. Opposite over what? Hypotenuse is 1. So that means our what? Opposite is what? Sine A plus what? Plus B. So we're going to label here what? Sine A plus what? Plus B. Okay? So here becomes the adjacent of this right angle triangle. Okay? So again, cos of A plus B is equals what? Adjacent. Okay? Over what? Hypotenuse. Okay? And hypotenuse is 1. So that means the adjacent is also what? Here is what? Cos A plus B. Okay? So remaining what? Remaining this side and this side. Since we have this angle, we can find here. We can as well find here, right? That's beautiful. So let us use this angle now. Here becomes the opposite of this, right? So from that we have sine A. Okay, this particular A is equals what? Opposite over what? Hypotenuse. Hypotenuse is what? Sine B. So sine A is equals what? Opposite over what? Hypotenuse, which is what? Sine B. So when you make opposite the subject of the formula, we're going to have what? Sine A what? Sine B. So that means here is what? Sine A what? Sine B. So remaining there. So we're going to have cos A there is equals what? Adjacent over what? Hypotenuse, which is what? Sine B. So when you make the adjacent the subject of the formula, we're going to have what? Cos A what? Sine B. Okay? So here is what? Here becomes what? Cos A sine what? Sine B. So we're good to go. So remember the properties of what? Rectangle. Opposite sides are equal. That means here is equals here, and here is equals what? Here. So using that analogy, okay. So using the properties of what? Rectangle, opposite sides are equal. We can see that what? Sine A plus B equals what? Sine A cos what? B plus cos what? A sine what? Sine B. Again, this side equals this side. That means cos A plus B, then plus sine A sine B equals what? Cos A cos B. So when we collect like terms, we're going to have that cos of A plus B equals what? If this crosses, it becomes minus. So we have cos A cos B minus what? Sine A sine B proved. Okay? So we have proved it. Okay?